Forest War 1592 is a richly oriental wargame. For those unfamiliar with this piece of history, the game is based on a war between ancient China, Korea, and Japan in 1592 on what is today Korean soil. Players take on the roles of commanders of different armies, seeking to defeat their enemies and conquer land in pursuit of victory. The game map covers Korea and its neighboring waters, the complete region where the actual historical battle occurred. The game divides Korea into 16 territories, and the winner at the end of the game is the player who possesses the most territories. On the top left corner of the map is the turn wheel, the basis for the game's progression. By progressing clockwise through the wheel, players can conduct one of 3 sets of actions in each turn: supply and assignment, conscription and dispatch, and march and battle. Details of these actions are as follows. Supply and assignment. In this turn, players collect supplies from territories under their control for use in other turns. After players calculate the amount of supplies they can collect, they move their supply tokens onto the corresponding remaining supply square on each side of the game board. For example, the Japanese side chooses to conduct supply and assignment after calculating that territories under Japanese control can produce 20 points in supplies. The player moves the supply token from 15 to 35. Supplies can then be used to issue assignments to generals under the player's command. Assignments can be one of the following: deploying a general, calling back a general, or swapping generals. Each regiment can only be led by one general who can reinforce the troops under his command. For example, the Japanese side deploys Kato to command a regiment in West Ganwon-do. Because deploying a general takes up supplies, the Japanese side moves its supply token from 35 to 30. However, the regiment under Kato's command will be reinforced with 2 dice in later land engagements. One of the defining characteristics of this game is its general system, encompassing a total of 34 famous army commanders. Each general can reinforce his regiment in different ways, increasing or decreasing the amount of dice, reducing the depletion of supplies, enhancing the mobility of the regiment, or launching an immediate second wave of attacks. Careful deployment of generals suited to different tasks can greatly increase the chance of victory in the war. Conscription and dispatch. In this turn, players can replenish the number of soldiers in their armies. 1 point gained in replenishing troops consumes 1 point of supplies, and a maximum of 8 points is allowed for each conscription turn. Each territory on the map yields different numbers when conscripting troops. The rich and fertile regions around Hanseong yields 3 points during conscription, while the relatively poor North Hamjeong-do only yields 1 point. For example, the joint Ming dynasty and Joseon force chooses to conduct conscription and dispatch, conscripting 3 points into right Jeongji-do by taking 3 troop pieces and stacking them into a regiment which previously only had 1 troop piece. In addition, 2 points are conscripted each in right Hanghae and Daitong-bae, while 1 point is conscripted into east Gangwon-do. This makes for a total of 8 points conscripted, which takes away 8 supply points, and a supply token for the joint force is moved from 20 to 12. Troop adjustments can be made to 2 regiments in any territory from which troops are conscripted in a single turn. However, each territory can only hold a maximum of 2 regiments, and each regiment can only hold a maximum of 4 troop points. March and battle. Players can move regiments to neighboring empty territories, or neighboring territories under their control, or they can decide to send their troops to attack territories under enemy control. Each regiment commanded to move or attack consumes 1 supply point for each troop point. For example, the Japanese side moves a regiment of 2 troop points from right Cheongcheong-do to Jeongji-bae, which consumes 2 supply points. In addition, the player moves a regiment of 2 troop points from East Tsushima Strait all the way to East Korea Bay, which also consumes 2 supply points, since regiments move faster on ships at sea. After the Japanese side finishes the above troop movements, the player decides to attack the joint Ming-Joseon force in East Gangwon-do. Japanese regiments in West Gangwon-do and left Gyeongsang-do, which are adjacent to East Gangwon-do, can thus be used in the attack or as supporting troops. Although the Japanese regiments at East Korea Bay also neighbor East Gangwon-do, they cannot engage the battle immediately since they have just moved from East Tsushima Strait. The Japanese regiment in West Ganwon-do under Kato's command is chosen as the main attacking regiment, with the other regiment in West Ganwon-do and a regiment in left Gyeongsang-do acting as support. Before the battle begins, we first calculate the supplies consumed in these actions. The three regiments combined have 6 troop points, which consume 6 supply points. Meanwhile, defending troops on the joint Ming-Joseon side do not need to consume supply points. Battles in the game are conducted using dice. Players use our specially designed dice and the ancient Japanese-themed dice tower to enhance the feeling that they're part of this historical period. For each troop point in the main attacking regiment and all defending regiments, players are allocated 1 battle die. Supporting regiments are allocated only 1 battle die each, regardless of how many troop points they have. For this battle, Kato's regiment holds 2 troop points, which gives them 2 battle dice, while the 2 supporting regiments add 1 battle die each. Moreover, Kato's general card adds another 2 dice, meaning that the Japanese attacking force can roll a total of 6 dice. Meanwhile, the defending regiment has 2 troop points, so they roll 2 dice. After the 2 sides roll the dice, we calculate their losses. The location of the defending force decides if the battle is on land or at sea. In this case, since the defense is located on land, it is clearly a land battle, and only casualty and cannon symbols on the dice count as direct hits on enemy troops. For each casualty and cannon symbol rolled, 1 troop point is deducted from the enemy force. The final tally shows that the joint Ming-Joseon force in East Ganwon-do has been crushed by Kato's regiment, and the Japanese side can choose to move Kato's regiment to East Ganwon-do. The power to collect supplies and conscript troops in East Ganwon-do is now transferred from the joint Ming-Joseon side to the Japanese side. Events. Above and below the center of the turn wheel are event symbols. When players pass through event symbols, as they go clockwise through the turn wheel, they must draw an event card from the deck. The game includes a total of 18 different event cards, simulating what might happen in a real battle, challenging players to respond to sudden and unexpected events after they have determined their strategies. End of game. One of the event cards is a reset card. When a player draws the reset card, the entire deck of event cards is reshuffled and reset according to the game's instructions. When the reset card is drawn for the 3rd time, the game ends after the round has been completed, and a player holding the most territories on land is declared the winner.